early days. In the nascent stages of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, the concept of judging a fight was entirely foreign. UFC 1, held in November 1993, operated without any formal judges or scorecards, relying instead on definitive finishes. Competitors battled until one either submitted, was knocked out, or their corner threw in the towel. Royce Gracie, the tournament's first champion, exemplified this era with his swift, decisive submissions, often ending fights in under 2 minutes. Referees primarily ensured fighter safety and enforced the rare foul, with stoppages occurring only when a fighter was clearly incapacitated or defenseless. The lack of an official scoring system meant that fights rarely went to a decision, avoiding any subjective interpretation of who had performed better. If a fight did not end in a stoppage or submission, it simply continued, sometimes for extended periods, until a clear winner emerged. This raw, unfiltered approach prioritized conclusive victory over any nuanced evaluation of a fighter's performance, setting a foundational expectation for definitive outcomes in the sport. The absence of judges initially circumvented the complexities and debates that would later plague the scoring of mixed martial arts contests. Adoption of judges. The landscape of the UFC fundamentally shifts with UFC 12 in February 1997 as the promotion formally introduces a panel of judges. This marked a pivotal departure from the earlier no-holds-barred approach, signaling a move towards a more structured combat sport. Initially, the criteria for scoring fights remained notably vague, providing little explicit guidance on how judges should assess the action inside the octagon. Therefore, despite the presence of judges, the vast majority of contests still conclude via knockout or submission, rendering their role largely theoretical. Even with the new system in place, the fighting style prevalent during this period still favors decisive finishes, which means few bouts actually reach the final bell. This effectively minimizes the immediate impact of the newly implemented judging system on fight outcomes. The introduction of judges represents a foundational step towards formalizing the sport, even if the practical application of their scoring power is limited at first. This new framework for evaluating fights lays the groundwork for future rule refinements, eventually leading to a more standardized and regulated competition. Machida vs. Rua 1 at UFC 104 in October 2009, Lyoto Machida, the undefeated light heavyweight champion, faces Mauricio Shogun Rua in a highly anticipated bout. The fight goes the full 5 rounds, a rare occurrence in the early days of the division, forcing the judges to render a decision. Despite Rua landing significantly more strikes and appearing to control much of the action, the official scorecards award Lyoto Machida a unanimous decision victory. This outcome immediately ignites widespread controversy among fans, media members, and even UFC President Dana White, who publicly expresses his disagreement with the judge's ruling. The public outcry highlights the growing frustration with subjective scoring in high-stakes UFC contests. Many observers believe Rua's aggressive pressure and consistent striking should have earned him the win, while the judges appear to favor Machida's evasive style and counter-striking. This particular decision becomes a significant flashpoint, prompting renewed scrutiny of the judging criteria and the need for greater transparency in how fights are evaluated. The controversy surrounding Machida versus Rua 1 underscores the inherent challenges in scoring mixed martial arts, especially when evaluating nuanced performances. Rampage versus Evans. At UFC 114 in May 2010, the highly anticipated grudge match between Quinton Rampage Jackson, an African-American former light heavyweight champion, and Rashad Evans, an African-American former light heavyweight champion, takes center stage. The three-round contest is fought primarily on the feet, with both fighters landing significant strikes, but neither truly dominating. When the final bell sounds, the decision goes to the judges, resulting in a split-decision victory for Rashad Evans. This outcome immediately sparks debate among analysts and fans, with many believing Jackson's consistent forward pressure and heavier blows should have swayed the scorecards in his favor. The close nature of the fight, coupled with the differing opinions on who controlled the octagon and landed the more impactful strikes, fueled the post-fight discussions. Judges awarded rounds based on their interpretation of the unified rules, but the subjective application of effective striking and octagon control left room for disparate conclusions. Therefore, the Rampage versus Evans decision further intensified the ongoing conversation about judging consistency and the need for clearer criteria in close bouts. This particular fight serves as another example of how a split decision can dramatically alter public perception of a contest despite the judge's official rulings.
You have just watched my video talking about some facts in UFC. Thank you for watching my video. Please click subscribe and follow to see the latest videos. Thank you.